This is your 2020 Ford Explorer, all new for this model year. Let's go Quirks, Perks, and Irks. So starting off up front, lots of LEDs. So you got the LED turn signal, which is just a thin little bar here. I like that it's LED, I like that it's a thin bar, but I wish it was just moved over a little bit. This is your LED day runner that you can see flickering. There is your LED headlight and your LED fog lights. As far as the grille goes, I don't mind it. It's a little different for it, but stands out. Doesn't look overly aggressive, but definitely looks distinct. So overall, there's a good look at your front end. No big complaints, again, aside from the turn signal that I wish was on the outside, or at least closer to the outside. Back where we started, this has the upgraded 21-inch wheels. They look really, really nice. 7-spoke design, really sharp. Taking a quick look at the hood, it's kind of sculpted a bit. There's a little line there you can see, and plus there's a scoop in the middle. So let's take a look at the side mirror. Nice big turn signal there. Gloss black mirror caps, and not too bad. Take a look at the side profile. So you have a little bit of chrome on the bottom right there, and you got the roof rails as well, and the silver trim, the chrome trim in your door handles. A couple of points of note here. It's generally a rounded shape, I find, but you see right at the back window, right at the edge there, comes up on a pretty sharp angle. So I think it's a nice little blend of not everything being, kind of soft curves. The word Explorer is etched in right there at the bottom of the front door. This does have the 360-degree camera. One was right up front, and in typical fashion, there's one underneath each of the side mirrors and one in the rear. Let's take you back a little bit, give you a rear quarter look. Nice big wheel arches, and just a pretty good design, and the taillights are a little reminiscent of the outgoing generation, but they've added a little bit of flair to it. So, I don't mind it. I'll give it a pass on that. Taking a look at the rear of the Explorer, you got quad tailpipes, chrome finishers, very nice, definite perk for me there. You get Explorer in chrome just below the Ford logo. Backup camera has a washer that is activated every time you use the rear wiper. Here's my Irk. I'm paying over $60,000 for this. I do not want a halogen turn signal. Everything up front is LED. It looks so nice and so well done. And then you go around the back and you have that. So definite Irk. Here's a Quirk. There's a little arrow here letting you know where to press to open up the tailgate. You can also kick your foot underneath or use the key fob. But since we're here and since we're talking about the arrow, let's give it a quick little press. And we have our trunk space with tons of storage. So we'll start here, little Explorer word, and it's kind of in the bottom of the car. So kind of cool there. You have underfloor storage down there. These third row of seats are power, so you can go right side, left side, or both. Let's do both. And they fold flat. So your cargo figures will be up. Now this is spec'd with the 3 seats for the second row as opposed to the 2 captain's chairs. I believe it's $500, at least that's what the spec sheet said, to get that middle seat. If it was me, I'd go without it. I'm happier just giving my 2 second row passengers a lot more space as opposed to having a third one. But your lifestyle is probably different than mine as far as what you're putting in cars and SUVs. Let's take a look inside the Explorer, starting with the second row. So I've staggered the seats on purpose. They are on rails, so you can see just how much space you have as far as variance goes. So this one is all the way back with the seat back all the way back, and that's the middle setting, and the one on the passenger side all the way up, and not quite fully up, but you got to be comfortable if you're sitting down, right? So seats are fairly comfortable. What I'm not a big fan of is this two-tone design, and we'll show you more of that once we get to the front seats, but I don't think the brown and the black go very well together. It's my 2 cents on that. You do get a center armrest. Again, this has the 3 seats. You can get 2 captain's chairs and save $500. So there's that, and we have some power sources as well as climate controls. Heated rear seats here as well for the 2 outboard passengers. So Ford has this cool thing where all you do is just pull this tab and the seat back goes forward as well as slides forward to give much easier access into the third row of seats, which is right there. I put the headrests down just I can't see very well throughout the rear of the vehicle with them upright, so I just keep them down. Smaller people, smaller items will go back there. It's not too bad as far as leg space goes. Like there's a little bit, but not for everyday use. So let's put this one back. Now what happens is you slide it back and it doesn't go all the way back on the rails. It kind of goes to the halfway mark, as you can see, going back to the staggered position where we started. So now it's in line, but all you do is just reach underneath here give it a pull back. Well, you know, I'm not going to do it all the way because I don't want a shaky camera with one hand. Alternatively, you can use this, and that just collapses it all the way flat. So that gets you easy access to the rear seats, and that one just folds flat down. So we'll keep that down there for now. There are one of many speakers for the Bang & Olufsen system. We'll go through more of that in the drive portion. And you do get these cool sunshades that collapse right into the door panel itself, and some cup holders and storage. I wish this was kind of closed off so you could use that as storage, but they give you a little cup holder there. You know, nothing quite tall can fit in here, but you can still put stuff in there. So let's close up the rear door and let's jump into the front seat. Oh, one other cool thing. Yes, they still kept the, let's get that in focus. There we go. So you still get the number pad. Pretty cool there. There's a look at the door panel for the driver. Kind of a cool design. Let me get that in focus as well. There we go. So I like the speaker cover pattern, or sorry, speaker cover shape. Looks kind of interesting on the 45-degree angle. Again, I wish this was closed off so you could make an extra storage bin. Different color here as opposed to the black. Nice soft touch materials here and here as well as here. The nice double stitching as well as a nice touch. And there's the Bang & Olufsen focus. Bang & Olufsen logo for the nice boomy sound system. I think it's 980 watts. So let's start with the seats. Thigh bolsters, not bad. I kind of expected a little more out of this, but the side bolsters more than make up for it. Everyone knows you're driving a Platinum by that if they don't see the badging on the back. Again, a little weird combination for me for the brown and the black. Very comfortable seats, cool design pattern here with the diamond print and the double stitching, but just not really a big fan. So pretty much here on up is the brown leather and the rest is black. There are your lights. An irk for me is whenever you shut the car off, it automatically defaults to automatic. I wish it would just let you pick your own thing and keep it there. I keep my lights on all the time, but that's my 2 cents. One other little perk here with the top trim Platinum, this lights up at night. So that's a little added bonus there. All right, let's close that door. I don't know why camera's not focusing too much today. Ah, there we go. It was me, not the camera. So 12.3 inch display. Oh, sorry about that, guys and gals. 12.3 inch display. You get to customize all sorts of things with it, so it really turns out to be just the way you want it for the information you want. Let's run drive modes, and there's 7 of them. So there is the tow haul. There is the at the end, sport, nice and red. And I like the animation of the graphics. It's pretty cool. You go to Eco, which is obviously green, and you get normal, which is just, I guess, like a normal road. Let's get that in focus a little more. Twist it over one more from normal, and you get slippery, and there's some ice, kind of cool there. One more over, it turns, into trail. So if you're towing something or you're on not quite paved terrain, and then deep snow and sand. So lots of drive modes, and it looks like Ford wants you to take this thing, not quite off-roading, but they want you to have a lot of fun with it. And I think it's a good move to have 7 different drive modes. Again, digital dash on higher trims, and it looks really, really cool, and it's nice and bright at night. And if you don't want it to be too bright, just use those little buttons there to make your adjustments. Steering wheel, nice, comfortable, lots of buttons, lots of controls on both sides, no blanks, really nice. Here's a real weird quirk. This is not blue. It's kind of like a wood pattern. Let me get that in focus for you again. So it's a silvery wood pattern, not quite like this kind of wood, which is on the vehicle. On the inside for the trim, which is there as well. Just, I've never seen a Ford logo that's not blue. So a little strange, but So start stop button is right there. I like it because it's nice and out of the way. You'll never hit it by accident. I don't mind the HVAC system. Part of my complaint with it is, so let's put it on, the fan speed is now on 3, now 4, air conditioning's on. So here's my quirk. I want to change the direction of the air, so I'm going to push that, and then it takes me here to pick where I want the air to go, and then I have to manually close it to get back to wherever I was on the screen. So it kind of just seems like a redundancy. You know, I know it's there to make it a little easier, just I find it more trouble than it's worth, as opposed to just being able to push that, and just, you know, the more you push it, the more it cycles through. But that's just an activation switch for that. This is kind of cool as far as the blue arrows. Come on, or is it a little too bright? Yeah, with the blue arrows and the red arrows. So you push down to get it colder, and you push up to get it hotter. So I think that's a cool move. Top trim has your heated seats in 3 stages, has your cooled seats in 3 stages, and there's your steering wheel heater, just 1 stage for that. Taking a look, there's your 10.1-inch tablet-style infotainment system. You can customize it, and I have mine set for light colors during the daytime. You can change it to night, and you can set it to auto as well. Pretty responsive. I don't really have any complaints with it. I'm not a big fan of the shape overall. I would rather it be horizontal as opposed to vertical. Just kind of my 2 cents on that. But I see why they did it, because almost all of us use our phones in a vertical fashion. So I think they're mimicking that, kind of like Volvo did, and not too bad. So just taking a look through this, tap general, and you get through all sorts of different things there. And it's a nice back button at the top left, and this one has the ambient light options, and pretty easy to use. I don't have many complaints. It's not slow. It's, again, not lightning fast, but not too bad overall. You got your 2 vents on either side. The wood trim carries on throughout, and there's more of those nice speaker covers there as well. So I don't mind the interior. I think it's a very well appointed interior, very upscale feeling, kind of like the cousin of the Explorer, which is the Aviator. Not quite as luxurious as the Aviator, but very, very close second, as far as I'm concerned anyway. Taking a look in here, this is an irk for me, because you open it up, which is fine, and then you push that and that releases it, and you have some power sources and you get some storage. I'll take my wallet out of there. So, not too bad, a little bit of storage space there. But if somebody wants to put their phone down, whenever I have, my phone is heavy enough, iPhone 10, to just have enough pressure to activate it. So whenever I put my phone down like that, as opposed to like that or like that, it just automatically activates it, my phone slides back. So bit of an irk there. The perk, on the other hand, is this little opening here is a place for your USB cords to kind of be channeled through instead of it being pinched by the door. So nice move there. Rotary dial saves a lot of space. PRND and M for your manual modes. Going back to the wheel for a sec, you do have paddle shifters there, incredibly tiny. You can barely notice them, but they're there and they're still easy to use. So some controls in here as well. Your parking brake and your auto start stop on and off. Parking control, not parking control, automated parking. Very cool move there. I'm in an alleyway, so I don't have anywhere to park. There's no reference point. All right, and you get your drive modes, which is what I showed you a few minutes ago. So cars and park. I was going to slide over for a sec. I use a water bottle, so I put it in there just to kind of show you where it sits and how it kind of stands as far as where your hands go. Cell phone holder in there. Nice move. Everyone's going to put their phone up there anyway, so why not? There's your wireless charger. Interesting that it goes in like that, but it's kind of good as far as not being distracted by your phone. So my 2 cents on that. Decent amount of storage space in the center console, and you got light in there, kind of standard stuff, and you got a second tray as well. Let's do the drive. 2020 Ford Explorer. So what I've got under the hood here is a 3-liter V6. It's their EcoBoost engine, putting out 365 horsepower, 380 pound-feet of torque, and that's all run through a 10-speed automatic transmission. So let's just jump right into the driving dynamics. So lots of get up and go with this 3.0 liter EcoBoost engine. Great for passing. It can tow up to 5,600 pounds when equipped properly. So for those of you who have boats or trailers, or if you're towing anything, the Explorer has plenty of get up and go and towing capacity as well. A nice, comfortable ride on the highway, very smooth, very, very quiet. City streets, it's good. It can be a little lurchy just when you're going, between, like, let's say a dead stop and, 30, 40, 50 kilometers per hour. And part of that's just due to the massive size of the engine. It doesn't lurch like in a bad way. You just got to be really sensitive and conscious of how much pressure you're putting down on the gas pedal when you go. There's been a few times the first day I got this truck where it's just I kind of jumped forward when I was just kind of going like a few feet up. So just be conscious of that, and once you're used to it and the pressure points, you'll be just fine. Cornering handling, it's a mid-size SUV. It's tall and it's long, so handles it well for a vehicle in this class. Regarding fuel consumption, with the 3-liter V6 engine, it's 13.3 liters per 100 kilometers on the city, 9.8 on the highway for a blended total of 11.8. And all of that runs through a 67.7 liter fuel tank. As far as comfort goes, the seats are very comfortable. Even though I don't care for the black-brown combination, the seats themselves are very, very comfortable, and the side bolsters really help make a positive impact with that. Second row of seats, pretty comfortable as well. Third row seats, like any third row seat in any larger vehicle, they're good for shorter trips or maybe smaller children, or just for cargo maybe. The cabin itself is very, very spacious. It's a very wide vehicle, so I've got lots of elbow room to put my hand up here if I feel like it, or even kind of stretch my right arm out. And the center armrest is definitely big enough to have 2 arms put on it for your driver, which would be you out there, as well as your front passenger. And it's a fairly quiet cabin when the audio system has been off. Now, this is decked out with the massive 14-speaker Bang & Olufsen system, putting out a total of 980 watts of sound. It is so crisp, it is so clear. Your bass booms and your treble is nice and crystal clear and projected through. 0.1-inch tablet is easy to use. A tiny irk with that for me is your backup camera and 360 camera are only on the top portion of the screen, as opposed to being the full screen. Like, I would have liked to have seen the top half be your backup camera and the entire bottom half being the 360, but they're only utilizing about 50% of the available screen real estate there. 12.3-inch digital dash, really, really easy to maneuver. There's a bit of customization that's available to the driver. Regarding safety, the Ford Copilot 360 is standard fare, and it comes with 5 key components, and they're listed on that side of the screen. The one that I'm a little frustrated with is the backup camera, because it's mandated by law. You have to have it. You can't say, oh, we've got a backup camera and it's part of our standard suite of safety systems. Like, well, it's part of any vehicle. Here's a quick cutaway to all of the driver assistant settings for the Platinum trim. So you can see there's just so many of them, and it's an easy menu to get to, and it's even easier to activate or deactivate or set them up how you like them. Sometimes modern vehicles, for as easy as they should be, really make you dig to get through some of the safety systems. Ford's Active Park Assist is a terrific feature, especially on the Explorer, with it being a larger vehicle and not as easy to park as, let's say the Escape, right? It's got a larger footprint, so maybe sometimes on the parallel parking side, you'll need a little bit of extra help. And thankfully Ford has the technology, and it works pretty well in my opinion. Competition-wise, the Explorer is up against the Kia Telluride and the Hyundai Palisade and the Subaru Ascent and the Volkswagen Atlas, and all of those are very strong contenders. And I think a disadvantage that the Explorer has is pricing, because the Ascent and Telluride and Palisade top trims come in at the very low $50,000 mark in Canadian dollars. Again, this is as of today, which is June 28th. Prices go up and down a little bit, but the top trim Platinum for this on the Ford.ca website is at the $60,000 mark. So it's a pretty big gap for top trims, going from 50 to 60. And I think if Ford came down to low 50s or even mid 50s, I think that may strengthen the appeal for those cross-shopping, these 3-row crossovers. That's going to wrap up the review on the 2020 Ford Explorer. If you have any questions, please let me know. I will do my best to get you answers as soon as possible. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. I really, really appreciate the support. Be well, be safe, be healthy, and I'll be back sooner than later with my next review.